Hey everyone, it's been an incredible month around here so far. We've been discovering how creative God is and how He made us to be creative too.
Creativity is imagining what you could do because you're made in God's image.
It's pretty great to know that we're made in God's image because, well, God is great.
That's true, Miss Erin. It's impossible for us to understand how truly great God is. You might say He's indescribable.
One way we can clearly see God's greatness is in His creation. He's made some pretty amazing things. Take salt, for example. You probably don't think much about this simple ingredient that you sprinkle on your eggs and your popcorn, but salt plays a huge role in the natural world.
Have you ever seen the salt flats, Miss Erin?
Nope.
That might look like sand, but it's actually salt. Salt flats are created when lakes dry up in the desert.
Or how about the Dead Sea? The extreme salt has caused some really amazing salt formations in this area of the world, which is actually near where Jesus lived during His time on earth.
Really? Well, not only that, there's so much salt in this particular sea that it's impossible for people to sink in the water. Crazy, right?
Yes. Of course, other than all those really cool things salt can do, let's just be honest, it tastes really good too. Well, in today's story, Jesus is going to talk about how we can be salt and light wherever we go to share His love with others. Okay, let's rewind. I have several different types of salt that you might use at home. Ice cream salt, table salt that you use to fill your salt shakers at home. This one's garlic salt, onion salt, and another table salt shaker. So what did Jesus mean when He said that we are the salt of the earth? Well, back in Bible times, salt was very, very valuable. There was no easy access to it, so it was a really special thing if you actually had some. In fact, Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt. Also, God wanted salt used during sacrifices in the Old Testament, so that tells you that it was much more than a simple seasoning. Also, back in Bible times, salt was used to preserve their meat, so they would have food during hard times in the seasons of weather. Also, purple dye needed salt for expensive clothing, the clothing that kings and queens wore. So that tells you how valuable it was. But how are we like salt? Well, we're valuable too. God made us in His image. We also want to preserve things with our salty spirits. We want to keep things fresh and good. We're supposed to act in a way that makes the world better. We're supposed to show God's love through the way that we act throughout our everyday life, and we don't want to lose our saltiness.
But Jesus didn't stop there. He told the crowd, Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." What do lights do? They shine in darkness, right? If you're scared in the dark, just turn on a light. Can't see what to do? Turn on a light. When we do good things for people around us, it's like we're shining the light of God's love. You wouldn't turn on a light and then cover it back up with a bowl, would you? Of course not. You'd let it shine so it could light up the whole entire house. Jesus was saying that we shouldn't hide our light either. We should keep shining for Him by showing His love everywhere we go.
Listen to the next thing Jesus says about light. In the same way, let your light shine so others can see it. Then they will see the good things you do, and they will bring glory to your Father who is in heaven. So what happens when we let our light shine? Well, other people can see the good things that we do, and they know that we act that way because we believe and follow God. they'll understand that the reason we act the way we do is because of Him. When we use our creativity to help others, it's really a cool way that we can share God's story. We can share what God is doing in us on the inside by the way we treat people on the outside. Think about it. What does it look like for you to be salt and light? Remember, we show God's love with our actions, not just our words. And there's no limit to the ways that you can share with others. You can use the creativity that God gave you to love others and give them a glimpse of how good He is.
Maybe you could invite a friend to church. Maybe you could ask someone you know that you can pray for. There are limitless ways to share God's story and shine His light.
That's right, Mr. Brian. And guys, don't forget that God is with you as you share His story with others, because that's what He created us to do.